Wednesday the 22nd of November. My final test, this time with 3 razors, 2 of which are coticles, 1 of which I used yesterday, and it had the usual edge on it. Not too bad actually, but I want to see if it can be improved. So what I've done is I've got a test piece, which is going to be a 20k Puma, which is a very reliable 20k edge on a Suehiro Gokumyo stone. The other 2 are going to be, as promised, they are going to definitely be coticle edges. One of which is that Japanese one yesterday, which I wasn't entirely happy with. It was done in the Gary method, which should have worked very, very well, which is purely 8K straight onto a coticle with only water. Yeah, it was all right, but not as good as my previous Puma, which had a slurry. And I think the slurry might have just made the difference. So it's going to be the Puma with the slurry, the Japanese, which is a very pretty, very, very, very mint razor, but slightly hard steel, and another Puma on the 20k. So we should find out something today. Anyway, I'm eternally grateful, back to my famous 30mm, I'm eternally grateful for Gary's help, as always. He did a wonderful test yesterday. He has it off pat. Not only is he the master on coticles, but also, of course, he was using identical razors. Now, he's got a 7-day set. And of course, you're using identical blades, identical razors, all made at the same period, at the same time. So, of course, it's the test bed. I haven't got that. So I'm going to make do. This is let's say an interesting multiple test. I say multiple because we've got 2 varieties, 2 methods of doing a coticle shave, and 1 which is going to be the 20k. Gary's was absolutely wonderful yesterday. I'm in total awe of his ability, as always. But we can't all be Gary Haywoods, can we? This is actually using the same, so we're keeping, a constant to measure it against. This is the same soap as yesterday, which I've got to say is very nice. It's the tobacco shave stick, and it's very good. Doesn't smell too bad at all. Gary made some remarks about it's an old man smell. Well, it's all right because I'm an old man. Anyway, we'll give this a go now and see what happens. Cardinal rules, chaps. Cardinal rule, dry the fingers. And be very careful when applying an edge to your face. Try to put spine on first, then tilt it a little bit. Anyway, let's try first with this. Is a rather nice Puma 95. This is a Puma 95, and this is on the 20k edge. And I missed a few spots yesterday, so I do actually need a shave. In fact, I'm going to start on where I missed yesterday. Oh yeah, 20k is a lovely edge. Well, on reflection, I say it's a lovely edge. It's a lovely edge when it's on good steel. Now, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Pumas, mostly because they don't cost a fortune. So you can indulge yourself when they come up on the market. Yeah, that's a perfect edge. Absolutely perfect 20k edge. You could shave with that forever. These razors I've stropped today, exactly the same method. In fact, I even inspected them with my little microscope, which is very good. Right, let's go now with yesterday's. This is yesterday's Puma, which had my previous slurried coticle, and it was very, very good. And, well, no surprise there, it's still very, very good. So this time we're not hacking off 3 days growth of stubble. This is only 1 day growth. Right, I'm going to leave the rest because I now want to try the little Japanese, which is the little strange barber. This is the Babaqueen. Stunningly high quality, but it is Japanese steel. And anyway, let's try this as a comparison. This has used the slurry and water method. It's still a little bit draggy. It's all right, but I wouldn't say it's any better than yesterday, where of course I used well, the normal, if you want to call it normal method, where there was no slurry used. Yeah, yesterday it was 5k, 8k, and then slurry. No, then, yes, yesterday evening it was slurry, but before that it wasn't. It was just on plain water. And I looked at it under the mic, couldn't tell any difference. Now, this is a stupid test, really. Do forgive me, because we're using an alien steel here. This is, the theory goes, I have no idea, but the theory goes that Japanese steel, when used on a quarter hollow or a wedge, is fantastic because you've got the full advantage of using very, very hard steel. Now, this little devil is a deep hollow grind, but by the same company that makes quarter hollow and wedges. And I think they use the same tempering method. So this, I think, is too brittle. And those that are used to this sort of edge, good for you, you know. It just doesn't feel like a coticle edge. It's just a little bit grabby. Let's now put this one down and go back to using a 20k. This is the 20k. This is a purely synthetic edge. Yeah, it's better. Not hugely. I mean, I think you'd be quite happy to shave with either. So it comes down really, not to the stone, it comes down to the steel, which was always what I was afraid of. So you can be slaving away, trying all different clever edges. You can be trying such wonderful clever edges, and if the steel isn't quite right, you're wasting your time. Unless, of course, you're one of these savant geniuses that can somehow interpret the stone to the steel quality, in which case I'll bow in deference and say wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Little tiny bit of hot water. Let's make sure for once Martin gets a decent lather, because that's rare, very rare. Again, I am an experimentalist with steel and with blade types and blade shapes and blade sizes. I'm not really of great use to anybody when it comes to aromas and when it comes to densities of lather. Though actually, these little shave sticks are absolutely marvellous. 2 seconds to put on. Look at that. Good lather, yeah. I think so anyway. Right, this is the high class Puma. This has got my earliest edge with a coticle. Oh, yeah. Effortless. Weight of the razor. So it's down to the steel and not down to the stone. I can shave happily all day long with a 20k Puma or with a 20k possibly other make, but the Puma seems to work very well on either synthetic or on a coticle. How magic is that? That feels nice. Yeah, that just confirms yesterday's shave. Yeah, that's very good. No complaints at all. So, please don't take this as some sort of gospel, but I would say if you want to put a coticle edge on good European steel, yeah, look at that. I would say go ahead, because that's working very, very well. This isn't even a size of blade I particularly like. This is a strange size. I mean, I think most people would call this a 5/8. But I think originally it was a little tiny bit bigger. Say it's a Puma 91, but it's a rare one. Look at those scales. Will I ever sell this one? No. Oh, that's really good. Once you get the hang of a few of your favourite sizes of razor, you're not going to make very many mistakes. That is joy. It probably sounds quite crackly, but it ain't. So, if in doubt, 20k edge. If you've got the skill and the time and you've got a Puma or whatever, decent European steel, yeah. Please don't mistake me, I'm not detracting from Japanese steel. I'm just saying it is of a different order. And I haven't got the time left on this planet to experiment that much. So I would say today's test has been rather interesting. So 20k Puma, coticle Puma, extremely effective. I can't quite fathom out why, but our little friend here, the Babaqueen, is only meant for Babaqueens, not for me. It don't seem to work well on coticle. In future, I'm going to put it onto a synthetic edge and give it another test. But at the moment, I've done enough. I would say a 3 razor, 3 pass shave after only shaving yesterday is enough for me. Yeah. I mean, this is, I'm not saying this is bad. It's not bad. It's just, I have to use a word I've used before, sorry to be boring and pedantic, but I would say it just feels brittle. It just feels like it needs another more skilled person than me who understands the vagaries. It's given a good shave, it really is. I'm not saying it's not. I think anybody would be quite proud to use it. But I'm going to put this one back. What am I talking about? Yeah. I'm going to put this one, the Babaqueen from Japan, I'm going to put this one onto a synthetic edge and we'll see in the future tests what it does. So I hope that's vaguely interesting. Sorry if I've been a little bit 2 days in a row, but I just needed to get it out my head, to get it out in the open. And I'd say coticles are wonderful edges if you get them right. But I think it's not just the method on the stone. I think it's also partially the steel. Perhaps I'm wrong. I usually am. But for me, this is a steel issue more than a stone issue. Anyway, chaps, that's 15 minutes of nonsense from me. Feels good. I've no complaints whatsoever. That feels absolutely lovely. I only shaved yesterday, so I didn't need much, but I did need a touch up. It's a tiny little bit stingy here and there because I, 3 different edges, 2 yesterday and 3 today. So in less than 24 hours, that's 5, effectively 5 shaves. But yeah, as far as the soap goes, very nice. Do be careful with the alum. It will find out any little cuts and any little abrasions. But worse with the alum, if by accident you've left it against your razor, you've just wrecked your razor. Yeah, you have. Unless, of course, it's a stainless steel. Stainless steel has, as far as I've found, alum has no effect upon. But actually, that's as good as yesterday. I'm going to do the People's post-shave, which is to smear on a little bit of your lather, because we've drained the oils from our face by using the alum and by going many times with a very sharp implement. So I think the skin deserves a little bit of a treat. And I must say, the tobacco is kind. It's a kind lather. It lathers up very, very well. And this is coming from somebody who's pretty much hopeless with lather. That's very, very nice indeed. I don't think I need anything else. So chaps, thanks so much for bearing with me. Thanks to any new followers. I hope my Martin shave tests are useful to somebody. And do follow. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.